In the next something like 36 hours, we will be joined by the most impressive decision-making power the world has seen in many years. Heads of state and government will be able and eager to provide impetus, and I strongly believe that we owe it to ourselves and to all of our constituencies back home to make this conference the turning point that the climate change calls for.
The success of our endeavours depends upon us forging a new alliance, not one bloc against another, not north against south, not rich against poor, but the first global alliance of 192 countries, a new alliance for the preservation of our planet.
If the climate was a bank, a capitalist bank, one of the biggest ones, they would have saved it, the rich governments.
And today, I'd like to announce that in the context of a strong accord in which all major economies stand behind meaningful mitigation actions and provide full transparency as to their implementation, the United States is prepared to work with other countries toward a goal of jointly mobilizing $100 billion a year by 2020. To address the climate change needs of developing countries.
Do you seriously believe that $100 billion is going to be enough and going to be enough to move this process to a conclusion tomorrow night?
Well, $100 billion a year is a lot of money. That's a commitment that is very real and can have tangible effects.
I was wondering about the fast start financing, because the EU has committed about $10 billion, Japan $15 billion. So what is the EU offering on that?
Well, we are committed to the fast funding start, and we're going to do our proportion of it, right, Todd? Yeah.
Distinguished delegates, before I left Australia, I was presented with a book of handwritten letters from a group of 6-year-olds. One of those letters is from a little girl whose name is Gracie. Gracie wrote as follows: "Hi," she said, "my name is Grace. How old are you? I'm writing to you because I want you all to be strong in Copenhagen. Please listen to us, as it is our future."
What we absolutely have to do during this time that remains, during this conference, to consistently and steadfastly work to bring about a solution.
Can you outline some of those requirements? You just mentioned China a little bit. What would be the standards that you would expect China and other major developing nations to meet in order for there to be a deal in which you could go ahead with this financial commitment?
Well, we have presented and discussed numerous approaches to transparency with a number of countries. And there are many ways to achieve transparency that would be credible and acceptable, but there has to be a willingness to move toward transparency in whatever form we finally determine is appropriate. So if there is not even a commitment to pursue transparency, that's kind of a deal breaker for us.
Concluding, I should like to invite all of you, ask all of you to support the proposal to hold in Mexico the next COP, the COP15